Official highway records for Interstate 81 show a structural gap. Exit numbers sequence directly from 13 to 15, leaving a geographical void. Yet occasionally, night drivers report a glowing sign for exit 14, manifesting where maps show only forest. Most travelers drive past without a second thought. The phenomenon appears to ignore them, waiting instead for a specific demographic of exhausted or desperate drivers. This spatial vacuum requires a vulnerable subject to trigger its initial lure phase, pulling them off the main road and into an unmapped pocket of the highway. Ryan fits the profile perfectly. He has been driving for 10 hours through heavy rain, and his fuel gauge is hovering just above empty. Extreme fatigue and the threat of a dead engine override his hesitation. He follows the arrow of the anomalous sign into the darkness. The exit leads to a solitary, vintage gas station, isolated by a dense expanse of forest. There are no nearby towns or other traffic. Crossing the ramp marks the transition from the real world into a pacification phase, where the environment mimics a standard rest stop to keep the subject stationary. The station offers everything a tired driver needs: functional fuel pumps, working vending machines, and a cashier waiting behind a counter. Small errors in the replication begin to surface immediately. Ryan notices the cashier is reading a newspaper dated 20 years in the past. Outside, the parking lot is filled with vehicles from different decades, all covered in thick dust, but parked with unnatural, millimeter-perfect precision. This chart shows the discrepancy between Ryan's hometown data and the map hanging on the station wall. The geography is familiar, but the numbers are wrong. The map claims a population of 35,000 for a town that only has 8,000 residents. The cashier offers no explanation, only asking how long he plans to stay. When Ryan says 10 minutes, she warns him to leave before the midnight shift change. These spatial and temporal errors suggest the environment is a failing simulation, a warning sign that appears shortly before the system's full activation. The clock reaches 11:58 p.m. Ryan has exactly 2 minutes to act before the window of opportunity closes. At midnight, the lights cut out. This electrical blackout serves as a physical reset. When the power returns a second later, the cashier has vanished. The store is suddenly crowded with dozens of motionless people. They wear clothing from various decades, standing frozen in the aisles and staring toward the windows. Outside, the modern highway is gone. In its place is a wall of forest stretching to the horizon, leaving no path back to the interstate. Every vehicle in the parking lot turns on at once, broadcasting a cacophony of emergency alerts and weather reports from multiple different years. Ryan runs for his truck and starts the engine, but the GPS has already recalculated his position within the trap's logic. The screen displays a single straight line leading away from the station. The destination reads home, but the system estimates arrival at 22 years. This shift change is the moment the snare closes, locking the victim into a chronological trajectory they cannot outrun. Ryan drives blindly into the fog. At dawn, state police find him parked on the shoulder of Interstate 81. He is only 3 miles from the supposed location of the exit, yet his fuel tank is completely empty, contradicting the fact that he just filled it at the station. A subsequent investigation by authorities finds no evidence of a road or gas station. There is only a continuous stretch of trees where Ryan claimed to have turned off. The physical location of the station vanishes entirely, leaving no forensic trace and allowing the anomaly to exist outside of official records. Months later, a loyalty card arrives in Ryan's mailbox, bearing the station's logo. Although Ryan has one memory of the station, the card logs 23 separate visits. A message at the bottom of the card states that a 24th visit earns permanent membership. The system tracks its prey across forgotten timelines, documenting every forced return until the subject inevitably accepts a permanent place in the loop.